Here's a theory. Any melody can be awesome if it's paired with the right chords and played with the right rhythm. To test this hypothesis, I've got an experiment. I'm going to take a dissonant 12-tone row and use my crusty music ears and my knowledge of theory to compose really good chords around it and make it really beautiful. A 12-tone row is a set of all 12 chromatic notes arranged in any order, with the one rule that no given pitch within those 12 notes can be repeated until all the remaining notes have happened in the row. So for instance, if you had a 12-tone row that was C, C sharp, E, D, D sharp, F, A, F sharp, G, G sharp, B flat, B, that would work because I didn't repeat any of those notes. But let's say I made it C, C sharp, D, F, E, C, F sharp. Because I did that C twice, that would not be a 12-tone row. That's just some chromatic thingamabob. So a 12-tone row is just like this real specific way to make sure you've got a really atonal melody. The 12-tone row I'm going to work with today sounds like this. Pretty spacey. It's just a bunch of disparate melodic points in space. And I'm going to use chords to connect all those dots together and make a cool constellation. Give it some shape, some beauty, and some meaning from a tonal perspective. I'm going to use two approaches when harmonizing this 12-tone row. The first approach is going to be to take each note in the tone row and see what it sounds like if that note is some specific chord tone of a specific chord. So for instance, the first note in the tone row is A, and I'm like, what would happen if A was the major 7 of a B flat major 7 chord for my starting chord? Well, we get this really peaceful, relaxed thing. What if it was the minor third of an F sharp minor chord, this A? Now that's a very dark beginning. So what kind of beginning do I want? What if A was the 9 of a G major chord? Lots to consider. I ultimately ended up with having A be the major 7 of a B flat major 7 chord. So the first chord is B flat major 7, with the melody note A being the major 7. And so for the next two notes, I did the same thing. I was like, well, what if F was just the 5 of the B flat major 7? Well, that would be very cohesive. We'd have A, F. But that's a little too happy for me. I'm just not that happy. So what I would like to do is see, well, what if we go for soul-crushing beauty with one of those Lydian leaps I like so much? So what if we make the F the sharp 4 of a B major chord? Aha! It's like you just opened the treasure chest. So we've got the B flat major chord with the major 7, A, and our next note in the tone row is F over a B major chord. I like it. And for the next note in our tone row, which is B, I can just stay on the B major chord and hit B as the root to really punctuate it. So, nice sound and harmony so far. Now the second approach you can take when you're harmonizing these notes from the tone row is try to find a common key that works with a string of notes within the row. A good example of this is the next 4 notes are actually all happy within the key of A flat major. If I just take A sharp and turn that into B flat, and G sharp and turn that into A flat, that sits happily in the key of A flat major. So I could just take those notes, B flat, C, G, A flat, and mess around with chords in the key of A flat major. That's A flat major, and then we got B minor, B flat minor. And And I could just go through chord by chord within this key of A flat major and see what I come up with. And what I ended up liking the most was I took the 4 chord of A flat major, which is D flat major, and the B flat is the 6 of that chord, the C is the major 7 of a D flat major 7 chord, then the G is the sharp 11. Maybe my favorite thing. And then the A flat is just the 5. So these 4 notes all are really cohesively within the key of A flat, and they work really nicely over this D flat chord that is from the key of A flat. So the first notes are our 12-tone row is starting to sound very connected, very beautiful, and that's what I'm looking for here. And so I went on with this process. I ended up with an F sharp minor chord for the C sharp, E, F sharp, D. So we got C sharp, E, F sharp, D, and then I went to a D sharp 7 or E flat 7, whatever you want to call it, for the final note. And then I went to an F7. I gave that final note 2 chords, so it's like this. Now let's listen to the whole 12-tone row with all the chords I used. Give this a try. Write a 12-tone row, which is easy to do. Just use all 12 chromatic notes in whatever order you want. And then try to make it beautiful by harmonizing each note or sets of notes with certain chords.